Okay, day 4 of our 30-day challenge. We have got a nice restorative class today. We're going to be working for the full body. So really feeling a nice big stretch coming out of this class, feeling ready to get on with whatever you're doing or ready to just have a nice big chill out. So grab 2 blocks. Blocks can be replaced with books. Just think about that height. And also some cushions could be a nice alternative as well. Okay, so come into your nice seated position, whatever is comfortable to you. Maybe that's kneeling. I'm going to put a block underneath my bum just to kneel a little bit more comfortably. And also a nice option could be to put a cushion in the crease of your knees. That means the knees aren't folding back so much. There's not so much of a stress on those knees. Or even come to seated on a chair. Okay, maybe put a playlist on, maybe close down the lights. Take any distractions away from you and really settle in here. Closing down the eyes. Hands onto the thighs, palms facing up. Allowing that belly to be really soft so that every inhale can be completely full. Belly rising all the way to the front. And on your exhale, feeling that belly sinking back down. Maybe you tuck the chin to your chest ever so slightly, feeling that length down the back of the neck, the crown of the head elongate. Shoulders and ears are in line, really good posture here. And the shoulders are just relaxed away from the ears. Coming into our deep yogic breathing, it's 3-part breathing. On your inhale through your nose, continuous count of 3 or maybe 4, filling up all the way to your belly first, and then feeling that breath filling up the sides and the back of the ribs, moving on to the chest increasing, filling up, and finally all the way up to the collarbone. On your exhale through your nose again, equal exhale, so 3 or 4. Continuous counts, releasing the air from your collarbone, chest, back and sides of the ribs, and then finally all of the air from your belly. So we'll start together. Inhale, 1, belly. 2, moving on to the ribs. 3, feeling those ribs expanding to the back and the sides. 4, chest and all the way up to the collarbone. Exhale, 1, collarbone. 2, ribs get thinner. 3, moving down to the belly. And 4, belly button coming back into your spine. Inhale, 1, belly. 2, back and sides of the ribs. 3, all the way up, filling up that chest. 4, finally up to the collarbone. Exhale, reverse, 1, collarbone. 2, chest. 3, back and sides of the ribs. And 4, all of the air from your belly. Continuing in your own count, maybe you drop it to 3 or you try to increase it. Just feel that breath, that airway getting easier and more open with every single exhale. Breathing in all of that energy, all of that positive energy that we want to serve us today and going forward. And breathing out anything that just doesn't serve us. Maybe it's something that does serve us at another time, but right here on our mat, we just want to be thinking about ourselves. Nothing else needs to be done. Nothing else needs to be thought about. You have dedicated this time to you. Maybe you increase that count as that airway starts to get clearer. Final big inhale and exhale. Once you come to the end of that last exhale, big inhale, take the hands up. You can absolutely keep the eyes closed. Hands reach up, just gaze towards your hands or take that gaze even with the eyes closed upwards. Exhale, hands all the way down, really reaching far with those fingers, relaxing the shoulders. Big inhale, reach those hands all the way up again. Really reach them high, maybe a tiny, tiny back bend. Exhale, hands all the way down. Final time, big inhale, hands all the way up. And exhale all the way down, really nice. Taking the right hand behind, left hand up and over, crossing over the outside of that right leg, coming into a nice gentle twist. Thinking about that left rib cage spinning round to the right and making sure you're keeping nice and tall. Every inhale, think about that length. And every exhale, see if you can spin a little bit more. Keep the chest nice and open by drawing those shoulder blades together. Make sure you're not sticking the rib cage out. Final inhale. Exhale slowly all the way back around over to the other side. Right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Left hand behind. Every inhale, crown reaches. Every exhale, that right rib cage spins round to the left a little bit more. Keep breathing here. Keep using those inhales and those exhales to your advantage. Exhale super slowly all the way back round. Really nice big inhale, hands all the way up. And on your exhale, draw the elbows down to shoulder height, spreading those fingers, pulling the shoulders back so you're drawing the shoulder blades together, but consciously not sticking this chest out. So keeping that chest, that rib cage in, just drawing these shoulder blades together. Checking it, those elbows are at shoulder height and the hands are directly above, so don't let them drop inwards. Really feel this energy drawing back. Inhale, hands all the way up, gaze up. Exhale, draw those arms back down again into these goddess arms. Inhale all the way up. One last time, really feel like you're pulling your arms through some syrup, through some mud. Really feel that resistance. Keep the rib cage contained. It's so easy to try and stick out that chest. Make sure those hands are directly above those elbows. Really nice. On your exhale, you're going to be drawing the forearms together in front of you and then dropping your chin to your chest, rolling through that spine. So separating the shoulder blades, palms come together. Think about a cat back, so you're really rounding that spine, belly button going to your spine. Inhale, take those arms all the way back out again. This time come into your cow back. So So really pull that chest through, stick the bum out, gaze up. Exhale, draw those arms together again. Really feel like they're going through some syrup. Forearms drive together, chest down, 2. Chin down to the chest, really separating those shoulder blades. Final time, big inhale, hands all the way out. Stick the bum out, stick the chest out. Really pull that heart through, gaze goes up. Exhale, final time, draw those forearms together. Separate the shoulder blades, really nice. Final inhale. Exhale, come back to neutral, taking the hands all the way down. Planting the right hand down, big inhale, left hand comes up and over. Stretching through that left side. Trying to keep that left bum cheek, the left hip down. Maybe you walk this right hand further out. That's going to give you a deeper stretch, or even bend through that elbow. Keeping this left shoulder, the top shoulder open. We don't want to be crunching in. Really keep nice and bright in that chest. Breathing here. Next, inhale slowly up and over to the other side. Right hand all the way up and over. Keep grounding through that right hip. Feel that stretch all down the right side. Again, maybe you walk that left hand further out. Maybe you bend the elbow. Really working for this open chest. Big inhale all the way up. Really, really nice. Taking the block, if you are sitting on a block, away from you now. Just keep it close by. And then start to walk the heels back. And then start to walk the hips back to the heels. Tucking those toes, knees together, toes and heels together. Coming into a plantar stretch. Just make sure that your toes aren't tucked under one another. This is one of my favourite stretches at the moment, so it may come up through the 30 days. Hands onto the thighs, palms facing up. And just sink down here. This is such a simple yet effective stretch. Where we wear really tight shoes now, we just don't wear the right kind of fitted shoes. Our toes get really narrow. And it means that we have less stability. And it really impacts our knees, impacts our hips, our spines. As you can imagine, overall, our posture starts to become really bad and it creates a lot of pain for us. Sitting here, trying to just focus on the breath. That's going to help take away that feeling from those toes because it can become uncomfortable. If you need to come out of it and back into it, absolutely do. Final inhale. Exhale, slowly come all the way forward, untucking those toes, really nice. Just give those ankles, toes a little bit of a wiggle. Maybe you even bash the fronts of the feet onto that mat. Just helping the blood flow come all the way back into those muscles, into that tissue. In your all fours, coming into our cat-cow, so fingers spread nice and widely. Big inhale, drop the pelvis, gaze up. Really pull those shoulder blades together. Exhale, push the ground away, cat pose. Separating the shoulder blades, chin to your chest, drawing that belly up as high to the spine as possible. Big inhale, back into that cow, gaze up. Dropping the pelvis, feel like you're pulling your hands back to your knees. Exhale, cat. Really come to the end of your exhale till you've got no more air to squeeze out. Inhale all the way back down, gaze up. Final time, exhale, push that mat away, really nice. Tuck the toes from this cat pose. We're just going to really slowly push ourselves up into almost like a half downward dog. We don't want to go all the way back, so keep your knees bent a lot.
Just push the hands into the mat, sending that tailbone high. Still thinking about that tucked pelvis. Exhale, knees all the way down. Thinking about coming back through that cat. Maybe you come through your cow and then tuck back to your cat before pushing all the way back into this half downward dog, sticking the bum out. Exhale, knees down, really still working that tucked pelvis. Inhale through your cow, exhale cat, and then back to this downward dog variation again. Maybe you start to work to more of your full version of your downward dog, driving those heels down if you've got that in your practice. Knees straightened or bent, whatever is comfortable to you. Make sure that head is feeling really loose. And then start to pedal out through those legs, so straightening one and then the other as much as you can. Working those hamstrings. Still keeping the tailbone high. Maybe you stay on one side longer than the other. Maybe one feels a bit easier, the other one feels a little bit stickier. Coming back to your downward dog, picking up your right leg, bringing it all the way forward. Maybe it needs a helping hand. Left knee all the way down. Into your low lunge. Blocks could be super helpful here to keep that chest nice and lifted. Remember, it's restorative. It's not a vinyasa class, so maybe just take that foot off the pedal a little bit. Really opening up through the hip flexor here. Sinking that left hip down and breathing. Placing the left hand all the way to the ground or onto a block, coming into your easy twist. Right hand all the way up to the sky, shoulder blades drawing together. Reaching that right hand high. Pushing the left hand into the mat or into that block. Exhale, right hand all the way down. Walk the right foot to the edge of the right side of the mat. Coming into your lizard lunge. So maybe both hands on your blocks. Or if it's easy for you, you can come down to your forearms. Just make sure this right knee is drawing into that right arm. So you'll feel a stretch down the inner groin as well as that left hip flexor now. Keep breathing, really nice big inhales and exhales. Next, exhale, take this right foot all the way back, coming into closed knees, child's pose. Knees together, feet together, sinking the forehead down, hands behind, allowing those shoulders to roll in. Really feel those hips sinking down to the heels, feeling that nice stretch all the way through to your tailbone. Just like we were doing at the start, utilize that breath through the back and sides of the ribs. Final inhale here. And big exhale, maybe you sigh out any energy that is not serving you. Next, inhale, coming all the way back up into that low lunge. Left leg forward this time. Into that low lunge again. Those blocks are there if you need them. Sinking that right hip flexor down this time, keeping the chest nice and open. If you want more of a stretch, walk that right knee further back. That's going to help that hip flexor stretch out even more. Final inhale here. Exhale, coming into that easy twist. Right hand down, big inhale, left hand up to the sky. Draw the shoulder blades together, really reach, really feel every inch of this movement. You can make it easy by not activating, but that is not the point.
of our practice today. We really want to feel every single inch of our body stretching, working into that restorative, into that feeling of restoration within our bodies. Exhale, left hand down, left foot to the outside of the mat, and then coming into your lizard lunge. Again, drawing that left knee into the left arm, whether you're on blocks or you're just down on your hands or on your forearms. Feeling that stretch through the inner groin now on the left side, as well as that hip flexor. Breathing here. Keep pushing the mat away, whether you're on your forearms or on your hands. Not allowing that chest to just hang down. We really want to keep nice and active still. Next exhale, take the left foot all the way back, and we're coming down to our bellies. Keeping those blocks close to you, or maybe you just have those cushions. Placing them both sides of you, we're going to really open up our thoracic spine, so that's our upper spine. Especially if you sit down a lot and you feel your shoulders drooping inwards, this is going to help to open everything up. Now, it could feel far too extreme, so you can come down to those cushions, or maybe even you are just using no blocks and you've just got that arm movements. That could feel enough of a stretch for you, depending on how rounded you are in that upper back. So we're going to have the whole of our forearm onto this block, and our arms are going to be at 90 degrees. So we've got our shoulder, our elbow, and our hand. Our palm is facing down. Both of them up on this block, and your forehead is down on the ground. For a slightly less extreme stretch, you can always take it so that your elbows are slightly further in front of your shoulders, but try to work to this stretch just at the start and see how it feels. If all of this is really easy as well, you can always take the blocks up a level and then rest the forearms like so on this second level. And really feel your chest sinking down to the ground, whilst those shoulder blades start to draw really gently in towards one another. Really use your breath here just to settle down, slow down. Almost feel like everything is going in slow-mo. Make sure that you're rolled really high to the top of your forehead where your hairline meets, so that you're not squashing your nose, and you're making sure the back of the neck is nice and elongated. Final inhale here, and exhale, remove those blocks or those cushions. Coming into another stretch with the arms, keeping the arms at that cactus arm, so elbows straight out to the side, palms straight down on the ground in this 90 degrees. Roll over to your left ear, tip your fingers of the right hand, pick up your right leg,
and spinning all the way over to your left. Maybe that foot reaches the ground or maybe it doesn't matter. You're still going to be getting the same stretch. Maybe that leg starts to go further and further back as that arm starts to stretch a little bit more. The front of the chest is stretching out. Final inhale, exhale, roll all the way down nice and slowly onto the other side. Right hand planted, tippy fingers of the left hand, right ear to the ground, right leg up and over. And remember, both sides can feel completely different. Final inhale, exhale, roll all the way back down, really nice. Taking the hands under the shoulders, really gently coming into a cobra, drawing the chest off the ground, gaze probably just in front of the mat, drawing the shoulder blades together, pelvis drawing down to the ground. Exhale, forehead all the way back down. Inhale, cobra again. Maybe you try to lift that chest slightly further off of the ground this time. Using those glutes is going to help that back bend. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, maybe you come into a full cobra or you stay down, making sure this pelvis is completely flat to the ground. So if that means you need to bend through your elbows in this full cobra, that is absolutely fine. Working towards driving that pelvis down, opening up the chest, pulling the shoulder blades together. Activating those glutes could help you here, so just give it a test, see if that helps your back bend. Keeping that chin in towards your chest, making sure that it's not sticking up in the sky, dumping into your neck. Final inhale here. Exhale, slowly roll all the way down, forehead down, really nice. Inhale, push all the way up through your all fours, sitting all the way back, swinging the legs round to the front. Coming on to some nice hip stretches here. So the feet are flat on the ground, knees are up to the sky. Just take the feet slightly further apart and we're going to drop both of the knees over to the right. And then lifting them up over to the left. If you want to stay one side for a bit longer, that is absolutely fine. We're going to be coming into a more of a static stretch in a minute. We're just working with these active hip mobility exercises to start with. Okay, one time both sides. And I've moved all the way up my mat. Okay, this time coming into a deer pose. So over to the right, we're taking our 90-degree angle with both legs. So we've got our right hip, right knee, right foot, exactly the same on the left. Left hip out to the side, left knee, down, backwards is our left foot. Both feet are flexed. That helps all of the muscles activate when our feet are flexed in this dorsiflexion. You may want a block underneath this right hip because you may start to feel like you're swaying over to this side if this external rotation isn't that strong, it's not that mobile. So putting a block underneath that right hip is going to help you stay upright and centered. It might just be enough to put your hand onto a block here to give you that leverage to stay upright.
So we've got internal with the left leg and external with the right leg working here. So a great double hip mobility exercise. And really just feels like you're sinking down into the ground. Staying nice and tall. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you take your hands behind. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you take the hands by the temples, and then start to take that weight forward, nice straight back, and then all the way back up. And forward leading with your chest to keep that straight back, and up. Wherever you are, 3 more counts. 3 and 2 and 1. Really nice, switching all the way over to the other side, to the left side. So left leg in front, right leg behind. Think about those 90-degree angles again. Left leg is forward this time, so our hip and our knee straight out to the front, and our leg out to the side, and then right side, our right hip, and then our right knee are out to the side, so facing the front of the mat in my case. Sink back down. You might feel that both sides are completely different. Again, so we're working on our internal rotation on our right leg and our external on our left leg now. Staying here, or maybe you take the hands to the temples again, and then start to lean forward over that leg, really leading with that chest, keeping the core engaged. Wherever you are, 3 more counts. 3 and 2 and 1. Really nice. Bring those knees all the way back through center again. Coming into our seated pigeon. So taking this right leg up and over so that the right ankle is to the outside of that left thigh. Bringing this left foot in flat to the ground. Now, depending on how open this outer glute is, you can either have your foot quite far away or start to walk it in closer. Again, plant the hands down behind you, fingers facing forward. Really push into the ground. Keep this right foot flexed. Keep thinking about this right knee drawing away from the face. Maybe you're sitting on a block, because if you're really rounded over like this, sitting on a block is going to help lift that spine, lengthen that spine. Breathing here, and as you start to get more mobility in that hip, maybe you can bring that left leg closer to you. If this is really uncomfortable on your wrist, you can come all the way down and do the exact same stretch lying down. Three, 2 and 1. Switching over to the other side, bringing this left leg up and over, flexing the foot. Left ankle to the outside of that right thigh. Really thinking about lifting, drawing that left knee away from the face. And breathing here. Again, maybe you bring this foot closer to you as you start to warm up. Three, 2 and 1. All the way down. Really, really nice. Come all the way down to your back. Just hug the knees into the chest. Maybe you sway side to side, really feeling a nice massage against the spine. Pulling those knees in by drawing the shoulders closer to the ground. Coming into a happy baby, maybe you take half happy baby or full. If you're coming into half, take the left leg long, grab hold of the outside of the right leg and pull that knee to the outside of the chest, into the armpit, flexing through that right foot, driving the heel up to the sky. And then switch over to the other side. If you're taking full, keep drawing those shoulders into the ground. Drawing the elbows towards the armpits. Thinking about the whole of that back being flat to the ground, all the way from the tailbone up to the crown of the head. Switching over to the other side if you haven't already. If you're in full, maybe you have a bit of a sway from side to side. Again, this is such a nice massage against that spine. Coming into any other stretches you know that you need for your body before coming into our Shavasana. Whenever you're ready, starting to take the legs out long, as wide or wider than the mat, closing the eyes down, hands away from the body, palms facing up. Take some really nice deep breaths. With every exhale, you're sinking further into the ground. Feeling heavier and heavier. Shoulders rolling away and down to the mat. Maybe your chin is slightly tucked. Feeling that length through the neck. With every exhale, really let go of any attachments, any expectations, and just be here in the present. Really take notice of how your eyes feel right now, even though they're closed. Are they squinting? Have you got tension behind the eyes that you can let go of? Tension in the jaw that you can feel maybe is a similar feeling to when you get frustrated or worried, anxious. And really let go of that feeling. Maybe the tongue comes away from the roof of the mouth. Every exhale, grow heavier and heavier. Feeling like the mat is the only thing that's keeping you lifted. Slowly starting to bring some movement back, wiggling the toes and the fingers. Maybe bending up the knees, rolling the hips from side to side. Coming into a really big stretch. Bending up the knees, rolling over to one side. Keeping the eyes closed. And then pushing yourself all the way up to seated really slowly. Once you're here, hands back onto the thighs, palms facing up. Take the hands to heart center, bow the chin to the chest, thumbs to the third eye. Just notice how you're feeling now. Notice what you have done to create this feeling. Yes, we've done stretches, but we've done much more accessible things like just breathing, nice deep breaths. Paying attention to areas that do feel tight, that do cause tension and anxiety. And we've really relaxed those areas. Something that you can do throughout your day. You don't have to do a whole class. You can just say to yourself, oh gosh, I need to relax my jaw. I'm clenching it because I'm in a heightened situation. And just notice how your perception changes, how your reaction and your response changes. Really slowly taking the hands away from the eyes and blinking the eyes open to the end of the practice whenever you are ready. Ready for day 5. Tomorrow we're getting into our mobility week. So a variety of classes, but everything will theme around mobility. Really excited to see you then.